Well, it's a chilly morning here in Chiang Mai, and we're going to go exploring Wat Umong, the forest temple of Chiang Mai. Umong means tunnel, and there are tunnels here, and we're going to go take a look at them a little later in the video. Chiang Mai is a city of between 300 and 500 temples, some of them very old, and Wat Umong is one of the oldest, established more than 700 years ago. Wat Umong is also a Dharma center. Dharma, the Sanskrit word, meaning the teachings, in this case the teachings of the Buddha. In Thai it's called Dhamma. It's also a meditation center. But I use the word established because Wat Umong wasn't built. It's not like a normal temple that you're used to seeing, with its elaborate buildings and ornate structures. Wat Umong is a forest temple, and the forest itself is the temple. And we're going to go take a look at the forest and see what Wat Umong has to offer. One of the first things you'll see upon entering the temple is the bookstore. Basically, the Dharma tries to teach us about how the world works and how to live happily in it. And there are a number of paved trails through the forest. The forest is filled with old-growth trees and tropical plants. Really gives us a feeling of peacefulness. Some of the trees are old-growth trees, undisturbed forest here. There are huge ferns that grow on the floors of forests. And what tells me this is a true Thai forest is when I encounter one of those huge vines that go up into the trees, some maybe over 100 feet. A little further on, we encounter one of my favorite spots in the whole temple. It's the Wat Umong pond. It looks quite peaceful, but underneath, there's a whole lot going on. We're going to go to the shop that sells the fish food and see if we could find some fish. Here's the fish food man. Each bag is 10 baht. I'll get a couple of bags. The Wat Umong pond has a small island which is accessible by this bridge. I call it the Pigeon Bridge. The animals here are quite tame and unafraid. I mean, you would be if you lived in a Dharma center. I just found out that the fish food guy also sells bird seeds. So the pigeons are really happy. We're going to throw some fish food into the pond and see what it brings up. These are catfish. There are probably some carp in there too, but the catfish dominate. I've also seen some soft-shelled turtles. They're huge, weighing over 100 kilos and can live over 100 years, but I haven't seen one today. Right up the hill from the pond is a nice peaceful waterfall. This is one of the largest buildings in Wat Umong. It's the residence of the abbot. He also does ceremonies here. I was there for the ordination of a young man having just lost his father, which is a tradition in Thailand. Now we come across some more traditional items you might find in a temple. There's a beautiful angel with a holy tree behind it. You know that it's holy when it's wrapped around with a saffron-colored cloth. And the very traditional lion, although this one is pretty small. This is the Buddha sitting under the bo tree, protected by a naga as he seeks enlightenment. And these may not be traditional, but they still have a dharmic meaning. This is one of the stranger images at Wat Umong. It's referred to as the starving Buddha. The story is that when the Buddha was seeking enlightenment, he tried out the radical idea of starving himself and self-mortification. He soon found out that didn't work, which led to his advocating the middle way as being the correct path. Wat Umong has been around for a long time, and some of the images found here may be as old as the temple itself. This is the Wat Umong Jetty, aka pagoda or stupa. Jetties usually contain the relics of monks or royalty, or even the Buddha himself. This jetty is on a little hillside. Underneath are the tunnels of Wat Umong. We'll be visiting them next. Jetties are holy places, and sometimes you'll see people walking around the jetty, usually 3 times, for the Buddha, the Dharma, the teachings, and the Sangha, his followers. Below the jetty are a labyrinth of tunnels. They're holy places, so we take our shoes off here. Inside, there's a heavy smell of incense, and at the end of each tunnel is a Buddha image. It's a little too dark to get good video here, so I took some stills of the images so we could see them more clearly. These images look to be ancient. It would appear that the original builders of these tunnels were a lot shorter than the people of today. A lot of Buddhist temples really like long staircases. Now this is an interesting building. It was built about 40 years ago, and I was here. It's the library, and I helped them arrange a lot of the books they had there, the English books. One of the more interesting features of Wat Umong, the one that many visitors will remember, are the dharmic sayings posted on the trees. Most of these are following the basic goals of helping the readers to find peace and happiness. There's a meditation center here. You'll see some of the meditators all dressed in white. You might see one standing all by him or herself. And as our explorations of Wat Umong come to an end, we come across some of my favorite tree sayings. Tomorrow I shall do good. This is a fool's words. Even today it's too late. A wise man did good yesterday. If you cannot have what you like, you must learn to like what you have. And for some reason, I particularly like this one. Every honest work is honorable work. Well, I hope you've enjoyed exploring Wat Umong. If you're in Chiang Mai and you're under maybe a little bit of stress, like to take a peaceful walk through the forest, come visit Wat Umong. Thanks for watching.